Rowan students rally against Trump immigration ban in this country. Also, don't miss Neary's special report on the Women's March, followed by Q&A with Jess Mounts on Rowan's 5K run. All this and more on the Rowan Rundown.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
Because it says your name first.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Welcome to the Rowan Report. I'm David Kincaid.
And I'm Michelle Campbell.
Dr. Ali Hushman, Rowan president, sent out an email Monday addressing President Trump's immigration ban. Rowan University has taken a stance on the ban, saying that they understand the fear of additional terror attacks on American soil, but have faith in Homeland Security and other federal and state agencies. Rowan believes they are prepared to monitor and protect our nation without the need for such a ban. Throughout the email, President Hushman expresses his support for all members of the Rowan community and hopes for everyone to share their opinions in a respectful way.
The Democratic Club protests on the back patio of the Chamberlain Student Center after hearing about President Donald Trump's immigration ban from several countries in the Middle East and Africa. Students who are protesting are also calling members of Congress in Washington, D.C. to try and lobby a movement against the immigration ban. Joe Miller, a junior mechanical engineering major, says, quote, "Calling congresspeople is one of the most effective ways you can affect change." Although not organizing the protest, the Rowan Republicans shared the views expressed in the Democratic Club protest.
A Rowan student is apprehended shortly after emails and text alerts are sent throughout campus. 18-year-old James Forrest Gilmore was taken into custody sometime after the initial alert went out around 6:45 p.m. Gilmore is wanted for threatening another Rowan student in Chestnut Hall. The announcement described Gilmore as a 200-pound light-skinned black male wearing a hoodie, warning that he is armed and dangerous. Nearly an hour later, another alert was issued to Rowan students stating that Gilmore was caught, although it did not specify where.
Dr. Joseph Sanzione III, a chemical engineering professor at Rowan, was awarded an $800,000 grant by the U.S. Department of Defense this week. Sanzione will be working with researchers from Drexel University, the PPG company in Pittsburgh, and the U.S. Army. The main purpose of the project is to conduct research that will help the Army to design materials with both military and civilian applications. And there is another possible benefit too. Sanzione says that students working with him on the project may get a chance to intern for the Army. All members of the Rowan University community are invited to participate in an online research survey about tobacco. The Tobacco-Free Campus Initiative addresses where and how people use these products at Rowan. Data collected will be used to gauge community opinion about their use on campus and what action, if any, students, faculty, and staff think should be done to further limit their use. Survey responses will be tallied and a recommendation will be made to the University Senate, who will pass that recommendation on to the Board of Trustees. Participation is voluntary and all information collected will be kept anonymous and confidential. The survey takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Your participation would be greatly appreciated.
The Rowan University Department of Music kicks off Black History Month with a performance of music by African-American composers Rowan flutes professor Adeline Thomasone, is joined by other members of our musical faculty to perform works by Scott Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Ulysses Kay, Jeffrey Mumford, and more. The concert will take place at Boyd Recital Hall at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Admission is free. Here's our very own Mavish with news on the girls basketball team and much more.
Thanks, David. Lacrosse midfielder Allie Herbert is named the Rowan University Woman of the Year by the New Jersey Association of the Intercollegiate Athletics for Women, according to the team. She was recognized at the 24th Annual Girls and Women in Sports Day Luncheon at Seton Hall University. The awards are given on a basis of athletic and academic achievement and community service. Herbert is ranked 2nd in New Jersey Athletic Conference in draw controls, 7th in free position goals, and tied for 9th in game-winning goals. She's also been named the NJAC Offensive Player of the Week before. She is a health and physical education major who is part of the Chi Alpha Sigma National College Athlete Honor Society and is a 2-time Rowan mentoring program and a 2-time Rowan Scholar athlete. Herbert volunteers with Big Brothers Big Sisters mentoring program and has spent a summer in Costa Rica coaching and teaching local children. The women's basketball team loses against the College of New Jersey 56-53 on Wednesday night. Guard Kim Dana scored with less than 7 minutes remaining, which tied the score at 43. The score tied twice more, but in the final 2 minutes, Rowan was behind. TCNJ Charlotte Scum's free throw shot made the score 56-50 with only 21 seconds on the clock. Rowan had 2 more chances to tie the score, but missed, said the athletics department. TCNJ is now tied with Rowan for the 6th spot in conference standings. 5 Rowan University athletes are chosen as New Jersey Athletic Conference Athletes of the Week, according to the NJAC commissioner. Nick DePergia was chosen as the Men's Basketball Player of the Week for the 2nd time. He scored 20 points, a season high of 8 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 assists, and a defeat at Montclair University. Jesse Novak was named as the Male Swimmer of the Week for the 5th time this season. He placed 1st in the 50-meter freestyle with a time of 21.18 seconds. John Morris earned the title of Diver of the Week after placing 5th in the 1-meter and 6th place in the 3-meter competition at the Penn State Diving Invitational. Carly Timmons was chosen as the Rookie of the Week in women's swimming and diving, after placing 3rd in the 500-meter freestyle, where she holds the 2nd best conference mark this season. And Jeffrey Tucker was named the Male Field Athlete of the Week after placing 1st out of 21 competitors in the high jump. Back to you at the desk.
Coming up, Neri Rodriguez takes a closer look at the Women's March, and Matthew Cass gives us his opinion on a WIT editorial.
Consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
I was like, whatever, they can see it.
Rowan provides a new subscription for students that allows them to watch foreign television programming from around the world. The mission of Scola is to help people learn of the world, learn about on one another. To access Scola, simply go to www.sclola.org. The username is rowan.edu, and the password is Who Are You? That's Who, capital R, capital U.
We are going to head over to Sierra with our entertainment news now.
This past weekend, Rowan After Hours, also known as RAW, has kicked off the semester with a series of open mic nights. These open mics are usually occur once a month and give students a chance to showcase their talents. Friday's performances included poetry, magic, and music. Raw's next open mic will be hosted this month on the 23rd. Speaking of Raw, the world-renowned step team, the Players Club, will be performing tonight in the Student Center pit. The Players Club was founded by Edward L. Nelson in 1996. The group name is an acronym which means participating in the lives of youth to educate and restore society. During their rise to success, the Steppers began community outreach programs to inspire the youth. Within the past 20 years, the Players have toured with Alicia Keys and Beyonce, appeared on America's Got Talent, the Soul Train Awards, and much more.
The day after the presidential inauguration in Washington, D.C., thousands of marchers gathered to protest the administration of President Donald Trump. Our own Neri Rodriguez sits down with Brittany Metz, one of those marchers. Neri?
Hello and welcome to this special report. I'm your host, Neri Rodriguez. Since the election of President Donald Trump last month, thousands of protesters have taken to the streets to voice their opinions. These protests have stretched from our nation's capital as far as Utah, and even right here on Rowan University's campus. Why have people chosen this style of freedom of speech? And what do they believe the outcome can be? To get a better understanding of this issue, I would like to welcome in my guest, sophomore Brittany Metz.
Hello.
Brittany, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thanks. So first and foremost, for our viewers that don't know, you participated in the Women's March in Philadelphia. So just take us through that whole scenario. What was that experience like?
So I just went with no intention of actually protesting. I just was going to take pictures, but it actually was really good energy, and everybody was really positive there. And it was actually a really good experience, like going, especially because I'm really passionate about the environment. And there was a lot of things, like signs about climate change and also women's rights. And I just feel like a lot of people came together, and it just was, I don't know, it was a good experience.
Well, was there anything, because you said you didn't plan on going, was there anything that you think you kind of took away from being there?
I mean, it was my first protest, and I didn't actually participate because I didn't make a sign or anything. But I got to realize a lot of the people there that were protesting are a lot different than what I expected. Like, it wasn't a lot of like young liberals. There was older people. There was young. Like, it was of all ages, and I don't know. It was really like good to see. Like, it made me feel a lot prouder about being in the country, especially because I personally don't really like Donald Trump, but yeah, I mean, it made me feel a lot better about it because there were so many people coming together to stand for something really good.
Okay, so why do you think protesting and doing these marches, why do you think it's an effective way?
I think it's an effective way because I got to realize how many people were actually in on it, and how many people that really wanted to support women's rights. So I think it's really important because the nation can see and the world can see how many people are really for something. I think it's more effective if it's peaceful, definitely. I feel like if it's not peaceful, it kind of can give someone a bad idea about their beliefs. But if it's peaceful, I think it's a really good way to show how they're feeling.
Absolutely. So I'm not sure if you know what these past couple of days, Rowan students have also took to a protest. So what's your take on that?
I think as long as it's peaceful and as long as it's appropriate, I think everybody has the right for their own opinion. I think that everybody should be able to stand up for what they believe in, especially if it's something like what has been going on. I think if it's important to them, I think that they absolutely should stand up for it.
Okay. Now, there's some people that may be on the fence of whether or not they want to do this or not, actually make the effort and go out there and protest. What would you say to somebody that's kind of unsure about protesting?
I think that they should at least try it. I mean, it's different. You don't always have to be screaming and shouting. As long if you're even just there present, then I think it's good. I think that everybody should at least try it and just see, because it's always good, because I think everybody does have a right to their own opinion. I think that they should be there and support it and let the world know that they're supporting it.
Okay, thank you so much, Brittany. That's all the time we have for this special report. I would like to thank my guest, the wonderful Brittany Metz. I'm your host, Neri Rodriguez. Thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next time.
In this week's In My Opinion, Matthew Cass discusses his feelings on Rowan University's recent stance. Matt?
This week, the editorial board of The Wit published a column about their opinion on the statement from University President Ali Hushman and the administration about President Trump's Muslim ban. Today's In My Opinion is about that editorial. I, for one, agree with The Wit. While the intent of the letter surely came from a good place, the road to hell can often be paved with those good intentions. The problem lies in the use of the word we in the statement. What that word seems to suggest is that the student body speaks with one mind and one voice, when anybody with a pair of eyes and a brain can see that's not the case. I'm all for the university administration having an opinion. It is, after all, a free country. But in this case, by lumping the entire student body under one umbrella, they have faltered just a bit. For In My Opinion, this has been Matthew Cass. Back to you at the desk.
Rising at Rowan is back. To kick off the series, Professor Ellen Miller will host a talk on Sylvia Plath's medicine and poetry. The lecture will delve into how Plath reveals in her poems the complexities about the body, health, technology, gender, depression, and the doctor-patient relationship. The talk will be held next Wednesday at 5 p.m. in Bozorth Hall. Theorizing at Rowan is a series of lectures covering a range of subjects and topics related to philosophy, religion studies, and much more.
Rowan University students recently held a candlelit march to mark the International Day of Holocaust Remembrance. The day is significant because it is the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz concentration camp. The purpose of the walk was to continue to raise awareness and to keep the memory of the Holocaust in the public consciousness. Members of Rowan University's Alpha Epsilon Pi fraternity were at the walk to read stories about the Holocaust, and the university's Holocaust and Genocide Studies Association also attended.
We have Jess here to talk about something that is going to have us sweating.
Hi guys, how are you?
Doing well.
Doing well, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
So what's going to have us sweating, Jess?
So the Rowan Run, the Run for Rowan 5K is coming up. It's a second annual run that we've done on campus. It's really exciting because we like to bring all of our students and faculty to be able to run for our school. That's kind of awesome.
When and where is it taking place?
So it's on April 22nd, and it's at the Student Center. It starts at 10 o'clock, and you have to be there at 8:30 to 9:30 to sign up.
As a runner, I know these races can be pricey. How much does it cost?
If you do the early bird special, it's $10 for students and $20 for non-students. And then if you wait for the regular registration, it's $15 for students and $25 for non-students. And it's cool because you get a free shirt, you get to run, and then all of the proceeds get to go to the Rowan Emergency Scholarship Fund. So any student that really needs the scholarship money to attend Rowan, they can use that kind of money to...
Awesome. I'll definitely be signing up soon. Thanks so much, Jess.
Yep.
Coming up after the break, we take a look at the weather with our own Cody Decker.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Rowan University is trying to get a Guinness World Record title. On February 4th at 7:30 p.m., Rowan will attempt to have 500 people simultaneously waving foam fingers for 30 seconds. This will happen during halftime at the men's basketball game. Students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members are welcome to the Rowan SB Gym. Student, child, and senior admission is $3 and $5 for general admission. So come all out on Saturday to break a world record and get a free foam finger.
Now we have Cody Decker with this week's weather forecast. What do you have for us, Cody?
Thanks, guys. For tonight's forecast, we will have a low of 22 degrees and cloudy skies, so make sure you bundle up if you're heading out tonight. Now for your 5-day forecast. For tomorrow, partly sunny skies will return, a high of 36 degrees and a low of 19 degrees. will remain about the same for the first half of your weekend, but rain and snow will have a chance to come on Sunday, a high of 44 degrees and a low of 30 degrees. The sun will return Monday, a high of 43 and a low of 29. But the rain will return for your Tuesday commute, high of 48 degrees and a low of 43 degrees. Now let's take a look at your weather window. So as you can see, guys, a bit of a mixed forecast coming up here. The second half of the weekend going to be a little wet, as well as our Tuesday forecast, but otherwise it'll be warming up a little bit, so you won't be shivering out there.
What's up with this weird winter that we're having? I'm confused.
Well, now Puxatawny Phil saw a shadow, so we got apparently 6 more weeks of winter.
6 more weeks, but of what, 50-degree winter?
It hasn't been that cold.
It's been very, very weird out there.
I like it.
I think I'm personally waiting for finally a big snowstorm. Maybe get classes canceled.
Oh, maybe. We'll see.
All right.
That's all for the Rowan Rundown tonight. We hope you run back to your TVs for the Rowan Rundown again tomorrow. Once again, I am David Kincaid.
And I'm Michelle Campbell. Have a good night.